Okay, hey guys, quick little video today, day 9 of Icelandic expedition, just on accommodation. You know, we're traveling around Iceland, we've got 12 days, we've got a support van, we've got 16 people, so 15 bikes, one van driver. So a lot of people to accommodate. We're all carrying tents, and the idea was to use the tents to offer some flexibility with some fixed accommodation along the way, sort of half and half, so half camping, half fixed accommodation. As I say, the reason for the camping was just to allow the flexibility, because the thing with places like Iceland is the weather is so variable and interchangeable. So it's nice to have some flexibility to either shorten or lengthen a day or change a direction to allow for different weather changes. Also for different fatigue levels, if people are tired one day, maybe stop early, let them do the rest of the miles the next day when they're feeling refreshed. So the beauty of tenting in Iceland is that there's lots of campsites around. They're easy to find, easy, well signposted, and you don't have to book. A lot of them don't even have pre-booking systems, so you just turn up, pay on the gate. It's like between 10 and 15, 18 pounds, so not an extortionate amount at all for camping. Most of them have got good facilities, shower blocks, toilets. Some have cookhouse facilities, some have seated places, so there is a variation in them, but it's very easy to do a camping trip around Iceland. The benefit of that being the fact that it give you a complete flexibility. The downside being that if it's wet and it's cold and you're in a tent every night for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, as I did when I did the GS trip in 2017, then it can become quite miserable. The beauty of things like booking.com, it means that it allows you to book things on the fly. And even actually looking at accommodation for the next few days, because we've got some bad weather coming in, I've found the hostels near here with 16 rooms in 2 days' time in busy season. So I don't think you need to come to Iceland with everything booked in place, because there's so many options on places like booking.com or hotels.com to allow you to equally have the flexibility of camping but also have the warmth of a hotel. Hotels and hostels, I would budget £50 for a hostel, up to sort of £75 for some twin rooms, and then if you get into the real hub of the tourism industry areas, it can be £200 for a main room. But I think actually outside of this golden circle, you could easily budget £80 per night for like a room to yourself with your own toilet and shower, which is not cheap, but it's not as extortionate as some people paint Iceland to be. So I don't think it's overly expensive in many ways, no more so than even the UK. Obviously, Airbnb's got options as well, couch surfing and all those other variations, but yeah, fundamentally, it's easy to find accommodation in Iceland. It's very much governed or geared up as an island to accommodate the visitor and to accommodate people at short notice. So it's, while it'd be tempting to plan everything, and with 16 people I have tended to put in some fixed destinations and pay in advance, which is sort of created a bit too much of a rigid structure. If I'm honest, I would have liked a little bit more flexibility, but that's the risk you take. But if there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of you coming, you could almost land on the island with no accommodation booked, and if you were doing it in hotels, I think you could work your way around quite nicely, playing it by ear, by the weather, which way is the weather going, and book your accommodation a night in advance. You know, if you're looking, if it's Tuesday morning and you're booking for Tuesday night, you'll find something. If it's Tuesday morning and you're looking for Wednesday night, you'll definitely find something. And again, with camping, you could completely play it by ear and just arrive at the campsite at 5 o'clock at night, pay your money, and off you go. So yeah, don't stress accommodation in Iceland. Actually, it's probably one of the easiest places to get accommodation. Also, the fact everyone speaks English here, so you haven't got any language barriers. There's enough places to get food, supermarkets. The gas stations have got good supplies for cooking, camp equipment, gas canisters, and things like that. So if you are camping, it's well provided for. And yeah, it's it's just really geared up for the tourist. So that's it. Yeah, just a quick little heads up on accommodation. Don't over plan it, don't over stress it. Just get on booking.com and see what they've got, and just Google tent sites, camping sites, or get one of the maps, because most campsites are marked on the map. This place here we're at, it was just a place I found on booking.com. It's a big 8-room bungalow in the middle of nowhere. We have got nothing around us but a river behind me, which I'll show you in a second when I go and turn the camera around. And this was £1,000 for a night, so divide that by 16. You know, it's not the cheapest, but for 16 people, it's actually a really nice place where you've got your own lounge and complete privacy. There is not a soul for a good few kilometres at least. So yeah, get creative, get Googling, and that's what I'd always recommend with any trip. Just do your research rather than planning. You know, research rather than planning is crucial. So we're going to ride back to the house at short distance on the Triumph, but first I'm just going to show you this little setting that we're in. It's absolutely spectacular, I've got to be honest. I'm always relieved when I book somewhere, because I don't, you can't recce these places. It's not like I can come to all these places before we arrive to make sure they're all okay. You just get an intuition, and you start to read the signs of what makes a good accommodation provider and what doesn't. And it could be location, it could be even the wording on the website or on booking.com, obviously the price as well. But there's just telltale signs, especially with camping as well. You always get a good clue of what a campsite's going to be like from its website or from its reviews. And that's the kind of research I like to do, because it gives you a clearer picture of what you're approaching when you get there. So this was a great find. Well, there's lots of great finds around here in Iceland, to be honest. Look at that, nothing. So tomorrow we're going to head north into the Southern Highlands. So at the minute we're right just off Route 1, about half an hour away to the east of Vic, and we're going to go north from there into the interior, the Southern Highlands, do some F-roads and get some done before the bad weather comes in. So a good day today, just coming down the Route 1, big day, 260 miles we all did today, which is a long way on little trail bikes, but the bikes did well, the weather held good, and there's just some nice scenery along this Route 1. Gets busy, have your wits about you if you're driving this lower section of Route 1, because everyone is flying into Reykjavik, getting cars and whizzing out to Glacier Lake and other places, Hoffen, and they're racing back again. And it's a long, straight, fast road, and the cars don't half tear down it, so just be careful if you are going to ride around here. Generally riding standards are pretty good in Iceland, but you only need that tourist who's in a rush or on the wrong side of the road, and that will certainly spoil your day. Triumph, I've got to say, it needs suspension, but the rest of the package is fantastic. Apart from the warp front brake disc, to be honest, that's the only other downside. But the bike, the engine, the riding position, the characteristics of the bike, the way it looks, especially with the rally raid rims, I think it's proven itself a very nice bike to ride. I'm enjoying riding it. It's not perfect, and in many ways a CRF or a Vogue 300 or Himalayan would be a better bike, but more enjoyable bike, maybe not. So happy days. So from now, from a nice setting sun, take it easy. Cheers.